Hello, this is Brian Johnston with inboundrecruiter.com. Thank you so much for coming to the site. We definitely appreciate you. I want to make a quick video about this new show on Bravo T called Headhuntress, which basically shines the light on the recruiting industry, specifically the headhunter business, contingent retained search. And so I'm going to kind of go over a couple of key points I saw from the show, and hopefully that'll help you in your desk today. I'm going to put a link to the site and a trailer so you can take a look at it. Hopefully it'll get you excited about watching the show. Definitely shines a light on our industry. I think it's really cool. The one thing about Wendy Doulton, who's the owner of the staffing firm, a retained staffing firm, and has a coaching arm of her company up in LA, dealing with very high-end Yahoo, Google, companies like that, executives and things of that nature. But this woman was confident. Every recruiter I've ever been around that's a big biller, they just have this thing about this aura about them of confidence, and it's not an overconfident thing. The top billing recruiters that I've come across are the most giving people I've ever been around. She's seen that way as well. I look forward to potentially meeting her someday. The other key takeaway was you are a coach. What we need to recognize in this industry is even people at the CEO executive level, they don't interview all the time. They're not they're not interviewing for jobs all the time. They want the information in our head. We need to extract that data out of them. It's our job. You got to think about coaching kids in youth sports or dance or whatever. It's like you got to pull the information out of these little children, just like you do a high-level executive or an individual contributor. The other thing that she talks about in the show is that recruiting is 24/7. Okay, if you want to go 8 to 5, you're not going to make it in this industry. You might do okay, but it's just not the way the world's spinning right now. I work 6-7 days a week, and it just is what it is. And I just work, my firm commitments into my family and personal issues. I just work it all in together, and people just know that. The other thing she talks about is the tools as she's taking on a new search in the show. She talks about briefly like her database and social media and all the tools she's using, and she's basically at the end of the day says they're all you use all the tools at your disposal to serve your customer, and you just leave no stone unturned. The other thing she talks about in the show, as she's engaged in the search and things of that nature, is you got to keep close to your talent. You got to keep your candidates and clients very close to you, because things can go wrong very quickly. I talked about a video a couple weeks ago that I thought got a really good response about how I dropped the ball in qualifying an offer that came through, and it just I think it was a blessing in disguise, and I really believe that it just invigorated me to kind of reevaluate where I was and what I'm doing, and just sort of get really re-energized about this industry that I love so much. And the other thing she talks about, and we used to talk about in the industry when I was in corporate and things of that nature before I had my business, is you're only as good as your last deal, right? And it's so true if you're in the permanent placement industry. There's no residual income like a temporary staffing, and so it just kind of resonated with me. And it just, there were times, and I think lazy recruiters that have worked for me, and then I've myself gotten lazy after a big, huge $30,000-$40,000 placement, and it's like I'm not doing that bullshit anymore. I'm focused on my business. I'm focused on my customers. I know that when I'm serving myself, good things don't happen. I think that that's the way it is in my mind. But when I'm doing well in my business, it's a direct reflection of the service I'm providing to my customers and my candidates. And this show, it so eloquently kind of depicts that as well. And so, in closing, I would say if there's any weakness in this industry, and kind of what I saw about Wendy Doulton in the show was, she's pretty aggressive, almost insensitive comments and things of that nature. But in a global war for talent, you have to recognize that these are the type of players that need to be in the mix in order to get stuff done. It's just the way it is, okay? And so, in the end, it shines a great light on the recruiting industry. I absolutely loved it. Put a link up there. Check it out. Again, until we connect online or offline, this is Brian Johnston with inboundrecruiter.com. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked it, please comment, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye-bye.